That's right. You've changed the wavelength of the light. That's just as it hits the retina. I don't really have a technical vocabulary to explain it all, but yeah. Sorry. Hasn't the input changed? Is that the question? Yeah, you're right. You could say, well, that's an important change in the input, but the trouble is, let's push the inverting goggles inside your head. Let's suppose that they're kind of contact lenses, right? Let's suppose that it's just something in the pigmentation of your eye. Yeah, that's different. Yeah. Then that's not going to be identifiable as a functional difference exactly, because it's the same external spectrum that you're responding to. Yeah. That's just a difference in the physiology. But we know that the physiology can't be the key thing because of variable realizability. Yeah. So the general point is that with the inverting goggles, I mean, just shrink them a little bit, yeah, then your functional structure can be exactly the same. The only difference is a physiological difference. Yeah? But still your sensations are round the other way from the other person's. So you can't explain what makes it the particular color quality that it is, what makes it the particular color feel that it is in terms of function. That's the argument anyway. It's good to resist this argument. I do mean to encourage, but I just want it to be very clear what the argument is. A newborn baby, yes, right. Absolutely, and then they'll be functionally exactly the same. But their experiences, you might argue that their experiences are exactly the same too. The great thing about this example is it seems so compelling. I mean, you guys are all pointing out to me that the color sensations are round the other way once you've got the goggles on. Yeah, that's the reason for doing it with the goggles. You see what I mean? Rather than considering just a transplanted newborn. Yeah. Okay. So there's a real problem for functionalism. This difference that seems so easily imaginable that just can't be explained functionally. Martina Nieder-Rumelan gives this argument. She says there are two types of red-green color blindness. Red-green color blindness is one of the most common forms of color blindness, more common among males than among females. And the usual analysis is if you're just a regular perceiver, not colorblind, then there are three cone types, BGR, and different kinds of photopigment in each cone in the eye. And these different levels of photopigment are the differences in which light spectrums the cone is responsive to. Okay, that's not too technical. That's all right so far? Yeah. So three kinds of photopigment in these different cones in your eye. And what happens in the two types of red-green color blindness is that the R cones, the photopigment that's usually in the G cones can also be filling up the R cones. Yes? And then these two types of cones can't differentiate red and green anymore. Is that all right? I know we're kind of long into the lecture at this point, but really, I promise you this is worth following. Keep with me. So you get three kinds of cones. Three kinds of cones. And the photopigment that's usually in the R one can be spilling over into the green one. And then these aren't distinguishing red and green anymore. Yeah? Or it could go the other way, that the photopigment that's in the green ones has all overflowed into the red ones, the R ones, and then these two are not differentiating red and green anymore. So there's two different types of color blindness. Yes? Okay, red-green color blindness. So if you get these two types of red-green color blindness, and you know the statistics for these two types of red-green color blindness in the population, there should also be cases in which you have people with both types of color blindness. Suppose you have people who, the pigment that should be in the red is all in the green, and the pigment that should be in the green is all in the red. Right? You should get that too. And statistically, among males, there should be about 14 cases per 10,000 males. But no case of this double color blindness has ever been recorded. Because if you think about it, people who have both types of color blindness should still be able to discriminate red and green. They wouldn't count as colorblind. They'd be functionally just like anybody else. Yeah? But their color experiences would presumably be round the other way from a regular person's. 14 per 100,000. So 14 per 10,000. Okay. So if you're male, the question I have is, how do you know it's not you? And on that bombshell, we'll pack it up for today and pick up with the Chinese room on Wednesday.